Hello, Flosstube. I have a special guest today.
Hello.
My sister Naomi. And this is, my name is Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, and this is a channel about cross stitch. This is my Flosstube update number 116, and today is Saturday, May 9th. And I want to say Happy Mother's Day to,
Me?
yeah, that's right. Tomorrow, Sunday, to all the moms out there. My sister and I, my older sister and I just went to get my mom a couple of plants for Mother's Day and all that. So, I want to talk about Maynia first because I just have a couple things, and then I have some Etsy shop updates for those of you who are interested in that. We have some new things in our Etsy shop, and I'll get to that in a minute.
Which is why I'm here.
Yes.
But I'm just going to knit in the background for a
So
little while.
I don't knit, so this is your entertainment for today.
It's my Find Your Fade shawl.
Anyway, so the first thing, last Friday was the beginning of Maynia, and I am doing a sort of a whip Maynia. Again, I'm doing the 4 ship charts that I did that I took up I started last May, and I didn't stitch on them at all in the past year. So I thought I would do them again this year. So on Friday, the first one up was Voyage of Discovery. And this is the one where I had gotten the 2 gray colors, two darker gray colors in this sale. I'd gotten them reversed because I just read the symbols wrong. And so I pulled them all out and redid them correctly here. And I did make a lot of progress. I did a lot of this white. These are clouds behind the sails. And I started then to do the sails here. But I was afraid I would accidentally, skip over where the gap I was supposed to leave for this. So I went ahead and did the spars. So there's this one across the top here. Well, they're not finished. There's a darker brown that goes in here. But I did the main one. And here, there's another little red kind of cross thing that goes here. And then this is part of a little crow's nest, and then a spar for the top sail. And then there's another pennant, red pennant thing that goes up here on top. And then this is the prow, the front of this ship. So I did this part of this brown here too. So I made good progress on this for a week. But so then I was stitching all this white. There's some, this color here is like a very light gray. It looks very white, except where it's right up against the white here. You can kind of tell the difference. But right here is, I was doing all this white, and I realized last night that I had done a bunch of other stuff, and I picked this up again and started stitching, and I thought, it's Friday. I was supposed to switch projects. So I went ahead and did my second Maynia project, which is, excuse me, so this tall ship and Seascapes.
Is that the one I gave you?
No.
Oh.
This is Running with the Wind. This one right here. So I was stitching it last night. So I picked it up and I stitched more white. This
is the snowman of ships.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The snowman that I did last Christmas went on forever. It was really cute, but it went on forever. And this is the sails, lots and lots of sails on these tall ships, and they're all mostly white.
The part of the snowman will now be played by the tall
by the tall ships. Yes. And so I was doing this last night, and I thought, I got to the end of a thread over here and the end of this section, and I thought, well, I'm going to do some brown here just because it's, to break it up and do something different for a while. And then I got to the end, to this down here, and I came up here, and I realized there's something wrong here. And I thought, it better not be this, because I don't want to have to pull it all out and, redo all this. It's because some of this is white and some of this is light gray. And I was like, I don't want to have to do that. So I was looking at it, and just a few minutes ago, I realized that it's this section right here. So this is supposed to be like, there's a section in here that's supposed to be four times. You do like 3 and 3 and 3 and then 4. And I think I did just 3 and 3 and 4. So I left out a whole thing of those. But fortunately, it's just right here, and this is easily remedied, much more easily than this would have been. So it doesn't really look like anything, but that's one of the sails right there, and part of the mast, I guess, is right here. So it looks like a blob, but it's just the first day stitching on the blob.
Isn't that the definition of crafting? Everything looks like a blob?
Yes.
Until it doesn't.
And then this is one of my, this is an old map needle minder of this. I have 4 of these, so I put them all on these ship projects. Yeah. So that is pretty much all I have for stitching, because it's Maynia and I'm concentrating on those 4 charts. So that's all I did last week was the one chart. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about some Etsy shop updates. So last week I talked about we had 2 quilted bags that they don't have zippers, but they're really good for like for knitting and stuff like that, because they don't have zippers to catch for the yarn to get caught on, whatever. So we had the sort of Christmassy bag, and then the sort of off-white one with really pretty like little flowers and stuff on it. And then this time we have this one here that has, it's kind of a purplish greenish thing. There's a little dragonfly there, and it's got this dark blue bottom.
I should tell my sister-in-law about that. This was leftover quilt fabric from a quilt that I made for my sister-in-law, and I bet maybe she'll grab it off the shop.
So then there's this purple cloth on the inside. So this one is also quilted, and it has the longer straps on it.
And no zipper.
And no zipper, yeah. And then there's a little notions pouch that matches.
So cute.
It's also quilted and kind of thick, and has a little snap closure, and this purple fabric, maroon, I guess. Fabric, maroon.
What? Purple?
Huh?
Oh, what, on the inside?
On the inside, yeah. Oh. My older sister would probably correct me. It's not purple. It's
got
maroon.
some fancy artist name for it, painter name for it.
Yes. I always ask her about color stuff. Is this? No. What color is this? Blue, purple.
All of this is really her fault. Like, she got us into sewing and knitting and
Cross
cross
stitch
stitch and everything. It's all her fault, and she should be on camera.
And then there's another project bag, and this one is a ladybug print. So this one is like the one before. Has a red ladybugs on green and red ladybugs on yellow, and handles, and it has a zipper, and there's a little ladybug charm there on the zipper pull, and then this has the yellow ladybugs on the inside. So, and this is that big, larger project bag size with the ladybugs, and then there is a matching
So adorable.
notions pouch And it's a little bit smaller. It's still about 5 inches wide, but I think only about 4 inches deep. And then again, the yellow ladybugs on the inside. So there's this one, and then we have one more, and that is this one with it has chili peppers. Let me get this out. So there's this red and green and yellow chili peppers, and then avocados on the bottom. There's some a bowl of guacamole, looks like. And then there's an avocado there. And so this one also, again, has handles, and the handles of the avocado print. And then there's a little saguaro and a little charm that says stick together. Yeah, stick together. And there's a little saguaro charm on there. And this, again, has a black zipper. And the inside is, I think, the avocado fabric. Yeah. There's chips and guacamole and avocado. Yeah.
Cute.
So there's that bag. And again, this is the big, like, I think it's 14 or 15 inches long this way. And then there is a Notions pouch, again, with the chili peppers on the outside. And avocados on the inside. Avocados and guacamole and stuff on the inside. So these project bags are all in the Etsy shop. And then last time I showed you the unfinished version of this little chore flip, and this is the finished version. So the dishes are, and you put clean or dirty. You can and this one we did make with a magnet on the back so you could stick it on the dishwasher or whatever. So this is in the Etsy shop now. And then this, I wanted to go ahead and show you this. This is one of those seasonal ones. Can you grab one of those? Like the, here comes the dog. These little patterns that we had here, the heartstrings and this is the Easter one, bunny tracks. And this one is Memorial Day, yeah, remember always, and then the 4th of July, Patriot Dreams. Well, so this is one of those, but we have to do a little bit of doctoring down here. It says Mayflowers, so there's little flowers on there, and a basket. And down here, where it says Mayflowers, you can't really see it because the fabric is, this is hand dyed. This is Ada cloth, and I think this was what we had originally put the bunny tracks on, but it was too dark for that. So the flowers look great, but this happened to fall when when we were stitching it. It happened to fall on this little dark blotch on the fabric. So what we're going to try is just a very, very light, very weak bleach solution. Like take this out and then try to just like with a Q-tip or something, just to lighten this up a little bit and see if that works. But it's very experimental, so we're going to try it first down here on the corner or someplace to see, because we don't want to ruin the fabric or have it soak up into the stitching here. So just to kind of take some of the color out and see if that shows up better, because it's green and it's kind of, we want it to still be green, the stitching here, but on this fabric it doesn't show. Now if you were to buy this pattern, you could stitch it on whatever you want and it probably would show up fine. It'd be fine. But just to finish this would require, we're gonna have to do something about that before we can finish it. But anyway, so those are in the shop. Hold on just 1 second. Okay, oops, sorry. Wobbling. One other thing, you want to do that at first?
Yeah,
or this?
sure.
Okay.
So one of the things we're going to also be on the Three Sisters Creative Etsy shop is going to be some yarn. I started spinning about a year ago. You want to hold that side?
Yeah.
And I've made 2 skeins. This one is called Black Vine. Let me get the particulars. It's made from blue-faced Leicester wool, dyed in Vermont, and this one is approximately 184 yards of 2-ply yarn, and it's like DK weight to worsted, thick and thin, kind of. I wouldn't call it art yarn, but it's definitely hand spun. And sorry, I'm trying to get the colors in there real good. It's purples, greens, blues, very dark. It's called Black Vine. So that's this one. It's very squishy and bouncy. And you can see it's got like olive greens and purples. It's beautiful. It's hard for me to let go of it. And then the other one is made by the same people in Vermont, the fiber was, and I spun it, and this is called, the colorway is called Deep Space, and it's approximately 198 yards. Also DK weight, it's closer to, there's some parts that are probably fingering to DK, to worsted. Like I said, it's thick and thin, but it gives a lot of character if you were to knit it into a shawl or a scarf. And it's blues, purples, some reds, very pretty, called Deep Space. Looks like a nebula colors. Very squishy, blue-faced Leicester. It's beautiful. It very soft and squishy, and not at all scratchy wool or anything like that. So these will be available on the shop in the next few days. They're just singletons by themselves. I think they'd look good together if you were to alternate row by row each skein together. I think it'd really be a deeply beautiful item if you were to buy both. You could do that and alternate rows every 2 rows, and I think it would be really beautiful for like a triangle scarf or something like that, triangle shawl. So those are going up. And that is my part of this contribution.
And then the other thing was, sorry, making a mess over here. Sorry. Got to knock my stitching down. Sorry. Yesterday I spent part of the day making some needle minders.
Fun. I haven't seen these.
Yeah. So, and I put them on this tray because to dry and all that. So let me pull this up. Yeah. So I made, now some of these have black magnets, and I know there's sort of a thing about black magnets, but I washed them off really nicely, so they shouldn't discolor the fabric at all. You know, I have several needle minders that are on black magnets, and they haven't discolored my fabric at all. And then I have some that are these initial tiles. And they're not all, it's not all the initials of the alphabet. I just have, what's on here is all I have right now.
An M or a W?
It's
like
an M, yeah. And then I have these little power shell things, and these are on the silver magnets. And then this one I want to talk about is really special. Here, this is a one-of-a-kind thing. Oops, sorry. And the
Is there another one here?
Hmm?
The other one's not here.
No. So this one, my sister Eve painted. I'm going to pull this off of the thing so you can see it a little better. This is a little tulips that she painted. It's just a little canvas thing with this magnet, and this one has a black magnet too. But also, like I said, I've wiped them all off with a wet cloth and and everything, so they're clean. So it's just a little painting, but it's I made a needle minder out of it. So this will be in the Etsy shop also. And give me one of these little power shells. They really stick to the magnets very hard. So, and the other one, other ones I made were these little power shell looking beads that have the silver magnets on the back. Because what I did was I was looking at size, you know. So these are like I said, they look like power shells. They're just plastic beads. They have like, you know, striations and lots of color in them. And they're all kind of in this blue, silver kind of category. I'm going to look at one of these here.
Just grab it.
Yeah. So then these, like I said, I have a handful of these initial tiles. They're letter tiles, I mean. I think they're supposed to be like for mosaic kind of things, whatever, but I have like, right now I made like a couple of E's, a couple of A's, or one A, D, C, O, whatever. So you have to look at the, in the Etsy shop to see, I guess, what's available, you know, as far as letters go. And I have a few more of these, like a J and things like that. So, you know, if you want to, like, email me or, you know, and find out if I have the letter available, you know, whatever initial you want, you're looking for.
And the penguins.
Yeah, and the little penguins, I have 2 green ones and 1 orange, red, or whatever that color is, red.
I think it's red.
Yeah.
Cute.
And those are all I have of those. I don't remember when I bought them, but some time ago. But I made them into needle minders. And I had one other one. I don't know if I gave it away to somebody or whatever. But anyway, so yeah, so I have all these needle minders available. Will be available in the Etsy shop. Let me put this back here. Yeah. So, I think that's about it. The other thing I wanted to do was I had just a little life update. I had talked about before about bicycling, having bicycles and all that stuff. And this is right now, one of my most prized possessions. It is a bicycle helmet. I bought an adult tricycle last week. And it should be, hopefully I should be able to, it should come in I had to order it, but it should come in this week. So that was, you know, one of the things that was really hard for me was having to sell my bikes a couple years ago. When you know, I just, after my brain surgery, I just couldn't ride anymore on a regular 2-wheel bike because I have no balance nerve on this side, and so you know, I couldn't do it. And so what I looked into was, you know, the idea of an adult tricycle, and I have thought about it, talked about it, looked at it, whatever, for the past several months, and finally went ahead and bought it this last week. And so hopefully next week I'll have it in and I'll I have to get up early and ride when it's cool because it's already getting hot. It's already like 103 degrees or something, you know, thereabouts, 90s, in the upper 90s to low hundreds here, so in Phoenix. So yeah, I'm gonna have to, like, you know, either get up early, go riding, or ride in the evenings. And in the evening it's still hot, you know, it's still, you know, in the hundreds, whatever. Like right now it is 4 o'clock-ish and it is about 103 degrees.
I think so.
Thereabouts.
Still too cold for me to swim, but
yeah, in our unheated pool. The sun doesn't quite heat it up yet, you know.
It has to be 110 for a week before I can get in.
It will be soon. It will be soon.
It will be soon.
So I think that's it about about all I have. Yeah. Yeah, so I was just trying to run through. I'll probably think of 1,000 things I didn't talk about, after I get off. So anyway, so next week I'm hoping that I will have more progress on this tall ship, and I will hopefully remember on Friday to switch to the next one. So I think that's it. And I will see you all next week.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you.